Somebody did my last 5 and then walked down the street. Somebody that owed me 5 to give it back. So that's good karma.
Yeah, being able to keep that exchange going, but
yeah,
good faith-based everything goes a long way. Could I close this?
Oh yeah.
Cool. Okay. Okay. So, okay. So before city politics, we were talking about current experiences being unhoused in Worcester.
Right.
So
I was saying, what I was saying when I went to the city council, I was saying that they need to educate the staff, because you have staff members that don't know nothing about mental health, and then you got the city is almost starting to become anti-homeless. Like they set it up where the homeless can't be nowhere. Like the summertime, I'm guaranteed the summertime comes, they already got stores that you can't come in with backpacks. You know what I'm saying? They discriminating on the homeless about that. So, especially City Hall, like, if they had better staff, there'd be less people on the street. That's how bad the staff members are at the shelters, like educated, non-educated, arrogant. Like when I was at 25 Queen, I would see them holding their phones in their hands all day. As soon as they got to work, they got their phones in their hand. That's a wet system. That's a wet program. First of all, when you're in a shelter, you need to be ready to break up a fight, catch somebody.
Can you explain to me what a wet shelter is?
A wet shelter is when people can come there drunk or high. That's a wet shelter.
Okay.
And it's a lot of mental health people. Some people come directly from the a hospital. They got their time is up at the hospital, their insurance might run out, and they wind up finding themselves at Queen Street, 25 Queen. Now, once you get there, people don't know about your mental health. They don't even care about it. They don't care. They don't read no paperwork on you. You get to come in there, and some people be zombies. You can tell they medicated. And those are the people that you need to talk to them. They shouldn't say, well, I'm going at now, because they got kicked out of the shelter at a certain time. Or somebody's yelling at them that they never met, telling them to shut up, and they don't know how to shut up because they're suffering. They normally have a routine when they take their meds in their mental health hospitals or wherever they came from, and I just came out of prison. So when I take my medication, I go back to my cell, watch a movie, and I deal with my medication. But if I was to have a meltdown before I get put through the hole, they're going to send mental health to come and talk to me and figure out what's going on. And that's what they need to do at the shelter. They need to literally have a room. When somebody have a meltdown, study them, kicking them out forever, they need to be able to have some staff members that can talk to them. And I know in their job, they thinking they doing their job, but you're not doing your job when you got 15 staff members and none of them is helping mental health. Y'all all are saying, get out, you're grouping up, you're in. What is 15 staff doing there when you can only take 2 staff to house homeless people if you're not going to do your job? If you're going to do your job, 15 and at least like 10 of them staff should be going around asking people if they're okay. Making sure that those people that have mental health be talked to properly. Instead of you asking to see your caseworker and you're threatening to get kicked out because you don't see your caseworker or they're not there on time. So, you know.
So tell me about being threatened to be kicked out. When was the first?
Well,
yep.
In my story, I'm speaking about me. I never was threatened to kick out until this time. As soon as I get there, I try to help people. I make everybody laugh. So I never was trying to get kicked out. So I started documenting my homelessness and by making videos. And I did a GoFundMe. The first time it was successful. My second one was successful. So I guess one of the staff members, I don't know how they got on my page. When I asked them why was they on my page, they said it was public. So that lets me know when you're at your job, you're on Facebook. Because you're telling me you checked my Facebook page and it was public. And it wasn't even mine, it was my girl. So I know they probably checked mine too. But anyways, so when they explained to me the law that I broke, the rule that I broke, I accepted. I said, you know what, you're right. I broke a rule because I was documenting my girl, but other people's in the background and I don't have that permission. So I understood that. So they told me if I take the videos off, I can come back the next day and sign the papers to stating this and that and that. So I took the videos off, came back the next day, they lied to me and gave me an extra 7 days homelessness out in the streets. Normally I save my money, I prioritize when I do whatever I do, no matter what it is. I'm always trying to think forward. But I felt as though like me being in this situation was just for me to try to do the right thing, and me being in a situation it wasn't right. You know what I'm saying? Because I admitted that I did it. My girl was kicked out for no reason at all.
You are currently in the recording.
Yeah, she was kicked out for no reason at all, just because she was my girl, and the videos was about her. She didn't take the videos. How can she take a video when she's in the video? So I didn't argue with them. They had little attitudes, and I didn't argue with them. The thing is about it is, I have an ambition to do what I had to do. A writer, a comedian, and now I'm trying to take on this walk for to help out the homeless. I'm one of them. And sleeping outside now is chaotic. But God gave it to me, the strength to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? I pray and I do what I had to do. If you're gonna cough. But other than that, I see a whole bunch of stuff. I see people, I talk to them every day that's homeless, and they rather stay on the streets than go back to the shelter. If they have better staff, or even if the staff that's there would just have some compassion to learn more about mental health and learn more about, your camera went off.
No, it's still going.
Okay, to learn more about mental health and to learn more about when people just lose their lives. They wake up one day out of their house, and especially when somebody's in their 50s and 60s. When they just get, some of the people who just been homeless for years, and you got some people that just started being homeless, you need to be able to work with them or figure out why somebody been in the shelter for 3 years. If I'm doing my job, you should not be in the shelter for 3 years, 2 years, 18 months. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be. How y'all getting paid if I'm still in that shelter? Mm-hmm. So if it's a money scam, come on, do something, because everybody kick you out. It should be rules to be kicked in out. A regular staff should not have the power to kick nobody out forever. I don't care what grievance you write, because when you write a grievance about them, nothing happens. But if they write a grievance about us, things happen. You know what I'm saying? You get kicked out forever. I think that's something that should never happen. Like, you got grown people on the street that could be your grandmother or your grandpa, calm as a bitch. You have grown people walking around out here right now pushing shopping carts with everything they own in that shopping cart because some child, 18, 19, 25, 30 years old, chose to make a God decision like their God and just kick somebody out. You know what I'm saying? For you to throw somebody out forever, you have no compassion, because that's a human being who had a meltdown or went through something. If you tell somebody to shut up 40 times, you got to figure out he got to be suffering. Unless he's drunk. And if he's drunk, you can figure that out fast. But if somebody's young, you tell somebody, shut up, and they rocking. I done see people that they know there's no harm to people. They're just loud. And like I said, when somebody's loud, you need to work on it. You need to be able to say, you know what, let me fix this, let me talk to this person. If they had like 2 or 3 of those there, it'd be less problems. It'd definitely be less problems. It'd be less problems if when they say come to meet your caseworker, they take it serious. Because if you come to meet your caseworker and your caseworker's not there and you leave, you get penalized. So
that's upsetting.
Yeah, so if I get a paper stating I'm gonna come and meet my caseworker, and my caseworker is not there, and they come like a half an hour late, I get in the pit like, you want me to waste around? I have other appointments, and that's a problem right there. I've been in the shelter and never met my caseworker.
Well, holy shit!
I never met my caseworker. So
how long were you there?
At least like 2.5 months. Never met my caseworker. So I have my Open Sky worker came, and he was acting like he was a client. He needed help. So while he's sitting in there, he's seeing like I'm asking. I go ask. I'm giving attitude, like I'm bothering him. So when he tell him who he is, then he gets to figure out who my caseworker is. Still didn't see her. It's just like to go for the shelter, to being outside in the rain and the tents and stuff like that. It's almost like a 50-50. I can go into the shelter and be treated like trash by a child, because I got 13 kids. So why would I want somebody to just, you know what I'm saying? These is like people that just don't have no compassion. When I went in there, I felt like I was being a whole bunch of sharks were surrounding me. They acting like I sold drugs or I stole something or I hurt someone. you did this, you did, screaming at me. Like, I'm looking at, so they wanted to push my buttons. They thought they could push my buttons. I was gonna be the average person. But I had to prioritize and say, you know what, I'm here for a reason. I need to be here. And it helps me save money. I could just take my money and do this. So the first couple of nights I'm out, the first day I'm out, I was hurt. I was upset. And I kept my tone cool, and then when I came back the next day, and then I realized that they lied to me, and I was gonna be out for 7 days. They try to lie and say that we got people here from witness protection. Here's the lie. We got people here from witness protection, and you put them under scrutiny and they could be found. First of all, you threaten to throw those same people out forever who's on witness protection. Not only do you threaten to throw those same people out that's on witness protection, you that was a made up thing, because they got to leave every day at the same time to walk around the city that they supposed to be hiding from. You know what I'm saying? So if somebody's there from witness protection, why won't you protect them?
Right.
They shouldn't be just kicked out or threatened to get kicked out. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Because anybody that comes to that shelter, if somebody come to work in that bad day, they probably can kick 2 or 3 people out. And that's the attitudes I hear. It's that I've seen, that I've been through myself. You know.
You've seen people like having a bad day and then 2
constantly,
or 3 people?
Yeah, constantly, to the point where as I started a thing called Wheat Bread, where I have this extra laptop. This one was donated to me, the Little Dell, so I could start recording people's stories. Like, they asked me for a cigarette, I'm like, let me get 2 minutes of your time. Why are you homeless? Let's start with that. You might want to say something to your family, because people are going to die in the wintertime being out there. Like, it's a lot of help. People give a lot of things, but they give stuff to the shelter, and they steal it from us. Like, I done seen people come in there, I done helped them take it out their car, bring it into the shelter, socks, hundreds of socks, dedicating this. You ask them for socks, 20 minutes later, and they say, we don't have none. Like, what are you doing with these things? Or you'll see them with hand sanitizer, or you'll see people come in there and leave with boxes. Like, that was donated to the shelter, and you're literally stealing from us. You're taking things. You're taking things, or you giving people attitudes, or like, I get kicked out one time. I'm sitting there on my laptop, and I got kicked out for a little bit, and somebody came and picked up my grease for my hair, and I said, put it back. So I thought he was playing with me. I said, put it back. I'm on my laptop. He wouldn't put it back. The police came. I started arguing with him. Put it back, put it back. He said, it's mine. I said, put it back. So the police came. Everybody said it's his. It's for his dreads. So I put it back. Out of the blue, a staff came in. A good 3 minutes later. I don't like the way you talking. You can leave. First of all, when she came back, I was sitting there. I was calm, and I'm on my laptop. But if somebody takes something from me, I did the best thing I could. I talked to him. So, and it was words of words. But when you come out of the blue, whatever you was doing, when you come, you didn't assess the situation and say, well, it's quiet, it's over with, and the police was standing there. He's saying, no, he's defending his things. I still don't like the way he's doing it. This girl is private. She could be my kid. So, like, the attitudes we don't need, because first of all, you got to walk around the city all day. And this is the place you can come to the library, you can go to St. Vincent's, but the last thing you need is for somebody to tell you what to do when the whole world's kicking you in your ass right now, and you're sitting down there with no family, and you go to that shelter, and you need to be there because you need to be there, and you have somebody's trying to tell you how to live your life, and if you don't make it right or make them feel comfortable, they can kick you out. Now, understand, if you were there, you're a threat to somebody, leave for the day, calm down. But most of the people, when I get up and I see somebody's having a meltdown, I go talk to them, I offer them a cigarette, I put them to the side, I tell them about prioritizing. A fight break out, I break it up before it happens. I feel the energy, I'm in between people. I'm on camera so much more for that alone. So when they kick me out, I told them, I said, I be doing your job and don't even get paid. I don't get paid to break up somebody's fight or to calm somebody down or get in the middle of something, but I have compassion, and that's what I want to do. I want to help people to just, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gaining, like, I used to be a hustler, but right now, if I can hustle or get a couple dollars because I'm in a bad situation, I'm going to let the world know. I'm in a bad situation, and I need your help. Don't get upset with me over that. Now, I understand no videos in the shelter. It would never happen again. Hopefully, I'll never be in a shelter again. I'd rather sleep on the streets because at least in the future, if something bad happens, I can go there. But the way they're kicking people out forever, That worst ever should never have to do nothing with the shelter. Forever is bad. So you tell these people they gotta walk the streets forever. If they don't have a place to live, most of the time, if we at the shelter, we don't have a place to live. Anything could happen. My reasons for being in shelter, I did 5 years, 27 days before I was released. My wife died of pancreas. She had surgery on her pancreas and she passed away. So I was supposed to get probation to Kansas. That's what she passed at. So now I'm stuck in Mass on probation. I'm in the shelter, and it would be a lot better if I felt as though I could come there and not be the only one giving respect. Everybody should get respect because everybody's a human being. And you don't get it. You got some members, they come and they got this ugly look in their face and they'll walk around like with everything worked. And as soon as you see them, you'll see them with this. You'll see them with their phone. Is this my phone? You'll see them with their phone in their hand. As soon as they get to work, all fucking day. When are you gonna work? You got your phone in your hand all day. Like that's the first, when it's a fight, they can run directly to the fight. They're gonna secure that phone. Or some people will come there with slippers on or dress nice. You're not ready for work. They should have uniforms on when they get there, like scrubs, because that's a shelter. People throw up, it's nasty. People shit on themselves from going through a lot of things. But no, they come there like they. I done seen one person show up to work with no shirt on.
Really?
Showed up to work with no shirt on. A kid, some young kid
so
that works there.
Describe the kind of people who start work, like when they first start working there. Where do they seem to have worked before?
I don't know where they worked before, but I know you have a good. There's one lady named Heather, and she talks to people. She always says she needs you. We need a lot of Heathers. We need somebody that's willing to have compassion. Somebody that's going to pull you to the side and talk to you. Somebody that's going to not let you bullshit them because she won't let you bullshit her. Like, we need those type of people. So when you come to her, you just want to be honest. And you're going to say, you know what? Like, when I have a meltdown, I wind up going to jail. Especially it's hard people my size and people just don't want to be around. So I take care of my medication right now. I don't want to go back to prison. So everything I do, I had to prioritize. I had to focus. I had to forecast. I had to think, like, if I do this, what's going to happen in the future? Those are words I have to use in my everyday life. Like just by me coming here today, I had to charge my things up so I could be in the tent. I had to get this because I got a bug in my hair. And this is the syrup. Stops them from breathing.
Okay.
I won't have to cut my hair. That's what the syrup does.
Makes sense.
So it will stop the bug from breathing. I can actually wash the bug out, but I feel I got a bug. But I'm trying to take care of my hair. Yep. And they're living in a tent. And today rained, so I don't know if I'm going to go back to a tent with wet things in there. But I do know I'm not that far from a laundromat. I can dry my things at there. I do have a storage.
Good.
But I said, I go take a shower. I said, I'm not going to change my pants because I don't want to destroy nothing I paid for. If I got to live outside, I wear these black sweatpants until they get raggedy, and then I'll probably switch to new ones. But I didn't want to take none of my clothes and I have nobody to impress. So as long as I take a shower, keep focusing, keep editing my books, and document how bad they treat the homeless in Worcester, Massachusetts. I mean, period. You know what I'm saying? To have somebody just pushing the shopping cart and people drive past them all day and want to know why they ain't going to heaven. I seen a person laying on the ground and I seen all these regular people walking past him. You know who helped him out? 6 other people that was from the shelter came and helped him out. None of these people helped him out. And I mean, that's their choice. I don't wish nothing bad on them at all. I wish nothing bad on these people. But for somebody to just see another human being laid on the ground, you have to think about why, because you don't know what's going to happen to you in the future. Right now, you don't know. I'm living for a good eulogy. I want people to say they're happy he met me. I want them to say he did this. When he was a bad person, he was a bad person. When he came out and he made amends to himself and to everyone else, I seen that guy. He gave me help. You know what I'm saying? That's who I'm living and pushing to be. But I refuse to be put in a situation that's not going to be good for me.
Yes.
If I see a fight, I walk away from the fight. And that's like, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I don't want to see another person get hurt.
Yeah.
But I definitely see like It's bad. Like I love this library right here. I love this library. It's a clean library. But I've been in other states where the library just ran over by homeless. I'm talking about the bathroom. There's no way a kid could be in that building with the language. And this is different.
This library is amazing on so many levels. The people who run it do it with compassion, but also practicality.
Yeah. And there's a lot of people that come. See, what I don't like is you let 4 or 5 people break rules, and the rest of the people get punished. Like we have somebody screaming or flipping out or something like that, or just by moving all the they don't want the homeless in certain spots, the path where the children walk through. So they took all the tables that you can charge and they put them up on the 3rd floor. You know what I'm saying? So I understand certain things, but when you take the benches from outside the building and just rip them up, they was there for a reason. Taxpayers are getting punished too because y'all so focused on the homeless. Let's take this away from them. They can't sleep over here. They can't sit over here. They can't drink over here. I mean, I wish I had a lot of money because I would get a daycare for homeless so they can have a big building they can just show up. As long as nobody die, as long as we have good security and people just come there and get off the street, that'll make the city look a lot better. A lot better if you just start seeing people walk around with backpacks. I wanted to make a thing called the voice of reason. Like I am the voice of reason. I'm going to talk to everybody until I die. But I wish it was a place where they could just give me, I can give them a ticket and I can hold their backpacks. It'll free them up. They'll feel better. People got to take everything they own with them sometimes.
I was thinking about that the other day because Quality of Life offered to store something for someone while they were in the shelter.
Right.
And I was realizing, storage is a huge issue.
Right. But I would like to have a place where I can put, I wouldn't want to hurt their feelings, but if somebody bring a bag to me, I would take another bag and put it in, tie it in that bag.
Yep.
So let them tie it in and not so they get it back. So what if it's bed bugs or anything in there, it will stay in that bag.
Plastic isolation.
But I wouldn't stop you from getting your help. If you don't.
That'll also help people trust that their stuff's not going to be gone through. They can seal it at that moment.
Right. And they won't have to worry about it because nobody wants to be sitting in walking around with your bag. Like I see it all the time. I see that lady downstairs. She has all her stuff with her, and she's on a blank computer. She stands there on that blank computer, and for hours, all day, she was standing on a blank computer and talking to herself. And she has huge bags. So and I feel compassion for her. Like when is it going to be one day she's going to snap out of it?
Yeah.
She's never going to snap out of it.
I had a conversation with someone at the shelter the other day, and then I had an identical conversation with them right afterwards, and I realized, oh fuck, this is probably dementia. And I'm assuming I'm not the first person to realize that with this person, but it's also what possible supports could there be? Like this is so, I don't know, there's so many different people, so many different forms of undiagnosed issues.
Yeah.
It would help if there's someone around to just talk to, it sounds like.
Right. Yeah, they all need to, yeah.
So what about out of the shelter? If you guys needed someone to talk to, is there any, walk-in mental health?
Well, I don't know. I really don't know because I've never seen that. Where you could just walk in and somebody can help. You can probably walk in there and get some mental health treatment, but they're going to definitely make sure you ain't got your mass health. That's another thing with the mass health and the homeless. You got people pulling scams on the homeless. As soon as you sign your name or you give them your mass health numbers, whether you leave that day and never come back, for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, you're being charged where your mass health is being charged. And by you being homeless, that's the last thing you think about, is these people charging my mass health for something.
What are they charging for?
Say the services that you don't get. Like some places say that we help you with homeless, and they don't. Some people say if you sign up and you can come to these meetings, but you never went to the meetings, they still gonna make sure that they get paid.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that's another scam that a lot of these programs do. You need to do something. That's another thing a lot of programs do. Nobody cares about checking these things, and they need to be checked because they'll find out there's a lot of people can say, you know what, I never been there. Well, I never did this, but myself don't know. And you're never going to check when you're homeless. If you're out there trying to be depressed because you don't have a place to live, That's the last thing you worry about, who's charging your Mass Health. But do you know that's a lot of money that Mass Health get charged from people? You know what I'm saying? People can live off of that, especially if you're the scammer.
Mm-hmm.
If you got a fake program in the eyes of everybody thinking your program is doing something and it's not. You know what I'm saying? Like they say, how can we help well, I heard them on a city council say, how can they help the homeless? Or why is there so many, like, you know, they trying to open it up to other buildings when they need to just stop the law with the 3 rent increase thing, and you gotta have 3 times for this for the rent. People that got income should be automatically put somewhere where they can pay for rent and it can be taken out of their check so they won't have to mess it up. But they put some people with mental health, they get a place, and they next you know they got this person over there because this person manipulated them and they're not paying their rent. And they back at the shelter. But if they got help, they have therapy for like 3 or 4 months to show them how to pay their bills and show them why they should pay their bills so they won't be back at the shelter. They will be, a lot of people need help, but once you put a person in a place and they don't have no help, the first thing you do is there's going to be some leech, some miserable person, somebody they know from the shelter who will move in, and next you know, it's a trap house, or this person, it should never be a reason when you got an income not to pay your rent. And a lot of people need help with that. They need help with learning how to budget their money.
I mean, to be completely honest, I'm absolutely atrocious at budgeting on so many different levels.
Yeah.
Like, the reason I sold my business in June of this year was I wasn't running it into the ground, but I was not running it into high profits that it could be.
Yeah.
And so I guess part of what I'm trying to say is, like, I suck at paying bills too.
Yeah.
And I've this isn't what I'm trying to say is I understand that frankly paying bills is fucking difficult from an executive function standpoint, no matter, like, so I get it, but it's, even when it's not coming from homelessness, or it's fucking difficult to
right, it is, but that's why you need somebody to coach you through it.
Yeah.
Somebody to coach you through it. Like I said, I always try to tell people, start with a storage. The storage can help you so you can walk around freely. You won't have to have so much things on you. Your body can be free, and that one little bill that you're paying can prepare you for that next bill, because now you feel comfortable. You bought a little piece of freedom, a little piece of paradise, to be able to buy something and not worry about it get thrown out. Because if you miss the shelter on certain days, they will throw your shit in a dumpster. They will throw your histories. You can have your pictures of your kids. They will throw that shit in a dumpster on certain days if you're not around. I know one person just went to the hospital and all his new stuff was thrown away or dispersed amongst other people who wasn't there. And they don't care. There's nothing, you can say whatever you want to say. Can you check the cameras? Yeah, whatever. They don't care. So I don't even know, like, it's just bad there on a whole bunch. People stuff is like, when you have your very last, like you have your pictures of your kids that you never seen for 20 years, haven't seen in 20 years. Those things should be, if I'm staff, I'm be like, I'm not going to throw that away. I don't know what's in that bag. His whole life is in that bag. You throwing people's lives away. And then when they come to the desk with an attitude and they don't talk right, they can get thrown out the shelter forever. So you kicking them in their ass, study helping them. Like, that's not good. There's things that we need help with in this system.
I was talking to someone who her diploma was thrown away, and like the amount of different things, like, one, how difficult that is to replace, but two, like the amount of different times you might need that. And now, like, I don't know, the narrative of why don't these people get a job versus the shelter throws away everything they need to be able to be presentable or to credentialed for that job.
Right. And some of them just don't know how to do the job. They got the job. They walk around with these attitudes. None of the staff members, except is Heather. It's a good, like, 5 people that could make you feel welcome. When you come in, you feel welcome, and then that ends when that person leaves, and then you're dealing with somebody somebody's arguing with their boyfriend at the job. Or like I said, you got a kid to show up. Like, you got to be a grown man. When you come to work, there's nowhere in the world you should step in a building that you work in with no shirt on.
Yeah, that's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, like, that doesn't make no sense.
Are they hiring like 18-year-olds?
Yeah, they got young kids. I mean, they kick us out in the morning time, so you get kicked out the shelter in the morning time. They say they cleaning up. You come back, the table's never been touched. You can leave a piece of trash in the corner. That trash, so it's like they're having a party, or like this is their free time, and you come back at 12. So that's free time for take a nap, whatever they want to do. Like I said, never take the phone out their hand. They stay holding the phone. They stay holding the phone. They stay just like hey, for you to kick somebody out forever is a no-no.
Yeah. That's
you know what I'm saying?
ridiculous.
That's a no-no. So I said, like, me to protect myself, I'm going to have a couple people that's on city council call these people. I'm going to have the sheriff call these people and just say, I want to have a check on Charles. I need to check on Charles. I need to check on Miss Agnes. I need to check on these people and see what's going on them so they can know if you kick me out for no reason, I'm not going to be stuck out. I'll come back swinging. I'm not going to just be allowing you to kick me out because I didn't do something you like.
Creating a paper trail.
Yeah, so I definitely going to make sure I do all of these things. I just didn't even want to come back this time. I don't like how it's just so easy to be manipulated. Like I said, there's some good people there. You got great people there. But if you talk to some of the good people there and you realize they've been there over 2 years or a year, you be like, this can't be happening. Not in the United States. This shouldn't be happening. Like, you mean to tell me I'm that bad of a human being where I gotta get kicked out of shelter for one incident forever? I'm grateful that's not my situation, but for me to know half the people from the mustard seed, I go to the mustard seed, and like I have a little we call them the kids. It's a couple, young. They live in the tent with us. They got their own tent, and they actually let us move there to the tent. And it's bad. Like the bus driver know they're homeless. The fire people know they're homeless. So everybody know these people are homeless. And I don't know. I couldn't see me doing it. I could see me renting a bathroom. And as long as I can pay rent for that bathroom, I'm gonna share it with everybody I can. Because it's bad out here to be living in the streets. Nobody woke up as a child and said, you know what, I'm gonna be homeless. It takes a lot of trauma. It takes a lot of stuff for you to say, I'm going to live on the streets and just forever. But I feel bad too because there's a lot of addicts out there and they need help. And if they want to get help, it's hard to try when you don't have a place to live. It's hard to try that, find a place to live.
It sounds like it's a very cyclical problem from like what you talked about earlier of like even if you're clean, like once you have a place, then you bring a friend over who may not be as clean. They bring a friend over, and then suddenly everyone's using again. Right. It's a balance.
But that's also with a weak-minded person. Somebody's weak if they don't have no education or no help. You need somebody to say, you know what, I would love to get a list of people that just got their places and go over there for like a half an hour and talk to them. That would help. Like I get to go in and talk to them about how to budget their money. You want to be proud about certain things. You can't tell everybody your business. That's how you get robbed. So you want to be proud about certain things, be happy, be grandiose. You want to help somebody, but never bring nobody to your house because you got to understand where you just came from. You can always meet somebody. You can always show up and just be happy. You don't have to come up and give them crucial information. Oh yeah, I just got this crib over here. Especially if you're a person that they know you're a run over. Because you can tell somebody got that, next you know you have somebody in your house who's not good.
Yes. Yeah.
So they definitely need these avenues where people like being a caseworker for the homeless. A homeless caseworker should be able to just talk to these people, be right there for them. So that's all. My thing is I don't want nobody to just give up. But I definitely not gonna let nobody push me down and think they can walk over me. I'm not a rug at all.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have anything you'd like to add to this?
Just he had mentioned about the 3 times rent, and that's something I'm looking into because I'm better at that kind of research angle. And there are at least 5 states now that have reduced it to you can't charge more than 2 times the rent. And there's some cases going on over the country, so I'm looking into that aspect because they're trying to sort of make it more nationwide. So I'm sort of doing that kind of research because that's
so like
right, because we got RAF, we have income, and we're homeless.
Yep. October 8th of last year, I went on the whole Massachusetts website applying for all the vouchers. They told me at the time I am disabled. They told me it would be 5 to 10 years on waitlist for me to get an apartment. I had my raft for a year now, and I make enough that I should be able to. the 3 times is an issue, but what they're saying in a lot of these court cases, elderly, handicapped, because of those people will never make that amount. That's going to become a discrimination issue. California had a landmark case out there on the unruh law, and now I think it's Ohio, Virginia, Georgia, Florida are starting to pass these laws that they can't make it more than 2 times the rent. So I'm sort of looking at that kind of thing online because I'm better with that kind of research, and he's
Another thing too, like simple things is like sleep. Like when you're homeless and you get your mat. What time we get our mats at the shelter?
7.
Yeah, you get your mats around 7. Then you got all these smoke breaks to 10. By the time you do get to sleep and lay down, it's 5:30 in the morning. You gotta get up, and people got attitudes and.
Well, that's a big psychological issue. I mean, I've had psychiatrists say these things to me. The biggest difference between the darkest night and the brightest dawn is a good night's sleep. Yeah. Never underestimate the value of a good night's sleep.
Right, so that's why I brought that up. I brought it up for a reason, is because when you get your sleep, you feel better about yourself. When you just wake up, you just feel a little stronger. But when you wake up, you get your sleep, you go to sleep, people screaming. And when you wake up, somebody's screaming at you, get up, trying to get up. You know what, blah, 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 with this. Like, you want the fucking smoke room open, get your ass up and do this, blah, blah, blah. If you wake up every day with that creates a seed of negativity in your heart. And you be like, I hate this place, I hate this place. When you say hate enough times, it begins to fester in you. You just can't say certain words. Words are powerful. That's why I say the tongue is wicked. So I always try to show people compassion no matter what. No matter what happens, I don't care about you want to fight me. First, before we get into a fight, I'm going to say something positive, and I'm going to tell you to prioritize. Now, if I tell you positive things and you continue, it's going to be a different situation. But I'm going to always start with the positive thoughts aspect on everything I do. Because I am a convicted felon, and I've been in jail before, and I don't want to go back. And I've been in that room, and I thought about it. Listen, you don't want to come here again. You got to get out there, and you got to do something. You know what I'm saying? You got to do something. I never thought I was going to be sleeping in no streets or wearing the same clothes. I was saying all these people pushing the cart. A couple days ago, I went to the laundromat. I had to push a cart to the laundromat, and it just felt different. You know what I'm saying? We was at the laundromat, some kid came up and gave her some change. So I was like, do we look homeless? For a little kid to come up and give her change?
Were you guys ever judgmental about people before, like years ago?
Never.
Cool.
Never. I mean, where it comes from.
I never was judgmental, but I would say something. I would say, I would try to see somebody that was in the shelter. I'm like, bring your ass back to the shelter. But when I see the people with the shopping carts, and they got everything in there, and I'm like, ain't nothing there worth $5 because they would have already sold it. So they got so much stuff in the shopping carts. I always thought like that. They got so much stuff in these shopping carts. What are they going to do when it's cold? When it's wintertime, they're going to push it, whatever. So now that I had to push a shopping cart, it just made me just get a little burning in my heart. I got to get my book edited. My book's edited. I got to get these things out. I got to be a better comedian. I got to get on the stage and make people laugh. I got to have that one joke to make people say, I want him to come back.
So, then I want to end. Sorry, do you have?
Oh, I just want to say in terms of being judgmental and positive and all that kind of thing. I mean, I've always been someone who, like, I'll go do chance after chance after chance. And even at the shelter, I wanted to believe they cared. I wanted to take the small things. And every negative thing, I still wanted to believe they had some small piece of humanity. At this point, with the things I've seen lately, with them taking a pregnant woman with this situation, and just really feeling, I would always give them the benefit of the doubt that they were trying, that they were this, and really feeling at this point like there are people there who care.
Yeah, I know that. When that lady, what I said to that lady, see, when somebody do something bad to you, you got options. So when they kicked that pregnant girl out, her option was to go to the police station, sheriff department, legal, go anywhere, city hall. I'm pregnant. I'm kicked out. They will see that she's pregnant. I told her more than one time to document your set. Document that you're out sleeping in a tent, pregnant. Document this. Hold up. I told her more than one time. She did none of that. So, and I have compassion for her, but I have to move on right now, because if I stay on that situation, I'll be stuck on that situation. So what I'm saying is, when you're homeless and something bad happened to you, you have to fight for it. Because if not, you're just going to be another person, and you might have a shopping cart within a month because you got all your things. But at the end of the day, you have to prioritize. You got to think about it. Like, as soon as they kicked her out, that was her golden ticket. And she just ripped it up. She's pregnant. They kick you out.
I don't know. She may not be able. So
well, that's
she
right.
could.
She could, but you have this amazing capacity to.
But she know how to buy weed. She know how to do everything.
Right.
So I'm trying to tell her.
Does she know how to advocate for herself?
Yes, just by having me on her side, and I'm telling her what to do over and over and over. And if she wanted to really do it, she could have said, "Let's sit down and make an appointment with me," and we could have did it.
I've had so many relationships of my own fail with that reasoning. I told you how to do it, why can't you do it?
Right.
Just because you tell someone how to do it, just because you can process the steps to do something and then communicate to someone else those steps, doesn't make someone else able to do it.
But I know that. But I always offer, if you need me to do it, show you how to do it, I will do it. Don't say me later on, catch me later on, and catch me later on, and catch me later on.
She probably thought that was tied to an obligation because that's would have been expected from everyone else around her.
Well, she's also someone who he's right. She's not able to help herself. She doesn't want to.
I don't say that. She could help herself. She's a fighter. I think any woman that been homeless in these streets more than 6 months is a fighter. Mm-hmm. Any woman, I don't think you're weak when you're homeless. I think you got things to come at you and you survive. If you get up every day and you out and about, you're a fighter. Because there's a lot of rich people that couldn't handle this cold or handle what we handle. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to hear that. I think we are strong people. I don't want to hear that. I know she's a fighter. Because she likes weed, she can go get that, she can go get money for this, and she get money for that. And I told her to document it. All she had to do was get on her phone. I said, get on your Facebook.
Document you and I are proficient at. Most people are not.
Yeah, but she can get on there and make pretty videos of other things. Say I'm homeless. You know what I heard a couple people say?
I can't imagine. I'm struggling with motivation, and I don't have half of the complications that woman does. Like, motivation to do anything. Also, belief in systems. Like, maybe I'm sure she has.
I didn't give up on her. But it's just that she put herself in the back. This is like, she was stabbed a couple years ago. She was stabbed by a guy. She was every relationship she was in bad relationships. She could have but she was in bad after bad after bad relationship. She's a pretty girl. But it comes to a point when I can't say that I'm not the only one that gave you advice. Like, I'm grateful she's still living. I'm grateful for that. And she's always in my prayers. But if I sit down and give her all my time to try to guide her through this, even look at this conversation. We still talking about her.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? So if I can guide her by telling her over and over this, every time I see her, I give her money, or I give her every time, cigarettes. Every time I see her, I give. And I give her part of me. But I want her to say, you know what, he gave me enough where I can call him and we can sit down and we can talk about this. And I can try to help you go through it, because I'm not pregnant. But I know America doesn't like pregnant women being hurt.
Right, if anyone should be able to be supported, it's her.
Yes. So she's pregnant with a big belly, and she's white. She's white.
She's pretty.
And pretty.
She should be able to get into the program.
Yeah, so she could do these things. So it's easy for certain people out there.
Do you need to take this? I can stop the recording.
Can you take that, please? Can you take it up there? So yeah, so it's easy for her. I just know that I'm always willing to help, and I'm never gonna stop. Even though I don't care about no fundings, no grants, nothing. I'm just gonna be out there with my own monies. I might buy some shirts. If I can only spend 20, why am I homeless? Shirts. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just gonna sit back and just keep buying $100 sneakers and spending money on this or that. I've never been that type of dude. I just like to stay fresh. But at the end of the day, I'm always the one that's gonna stop and tell somebody, oh, you look good today, or you know what I'm saying, share my compassion with them. So it's a lot of good people on the street, and we stop and listen to their stories. I wish we could have booths where they can just go in the booth. Someone might run into the booth and say, I need help.
Okay, yeah, so not like this. You mean like
a booth out in the city, like a different booths in different places. You know, I'm writing a book called Mary Agnes, and it's a true story, and it's about some of the girls that have been at the shelter. When they told the staff members they was raped, they were like, yeah, she's lying, she's a drunk. Now, how would that lady feel in her heart to sit next to her rapist, or he's at the other table eating? Because nobody believed her.
Right.
Or she's a drunk, and now she's acting up, and this person took advantage of her. That's what I deal with when some of the women come to me. This dude touched my butt, and then I had to go over there and say, yo, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Do it again, or you're gonna have to deal with me. So I have to be that dude. I cannot be that dude. You know what I'm saying? So I have to be that dude. Sometimes when women come, I don't know why, but they tell me stuff that happened to them in the shelter, and I'm like, this is not happening.
Yeah, you need to advocate.
Yeah, you're not. I'm not gonna let you do this. You're gonna get off her face, and you're gonna leave her alone. You know. So at the end of the day, I'm gonna use my size for that. I'm gonna use my words because I like to use words. I think words are powerful. And like I said, I got a couple words that I use daily. Prioritizing is one. I'm always telling people how to prioritize. Like, what you gonna do? If you break your hand, you can't work.
Yep.
If you come to the library, you start screaming and yelling in the library and get kicked out, this is a place you can't come no more. You have to prioritize. You have to say, I need to be here. When it's raining, I can come here. They got a doctor here now that helps.
That's fantastic.
You know what I'm saying? You can go downstairs and you can get seen by a doctor. But if I come here because I'm having a bad day, some of the people with mental health that come here, they got good security here too. That will sit down and talk to somebody. They got some good security. They will sit down.
I love the security guards.
Yeah, they will sit down and talk to you. We need them same security guards at the shelter. That's gonna. A couple weeks, I don't know if you know, what's his name? Jorge. So a couple weeks ago, probably like 3 weeks ago, I'm at the shelter. Jorge's at the shelter, and they got a security guard there who's drunk. He's at the shelter drunk. Flipping out, saying the N-word over and over. I'll fight you niggas, I'll kick you niggas, and I'll kick y'all out in the cold. So I kept walking past him, but I didn't want him to attack me.
Yep.
So he wound up going to the back. When he came in the back, I went to the front. He started threatening people in the back. So Jorge took him up on his offer of fighting. So when I found out Jorge was about to fight him, I stepped in between them.
Yep.
So I'm stepping in between them two people, telling them they're not going to fight. So another staff member who should have been smart enough, he comes and grabs me out of the middle. First of all, I'm breaking up a fight. And when you take my attention away, they get into it. You should have been right there on my side to see that I got two grown men to go at it. You know what I'm saying? But the first thing he does was pull me to the side, which allowed them to get at it. So this police wound up choking with a staff. He wasn't a police officer of Worcester. He was security.
Okay.
For the shelter. He wound up choking this individual, and now the individual was kicked out forever.
Okay, when was this?
This is probably like maybe 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So either late October, early November.
Yeah. He was kicked out, and I'll give him your number to do it if you want me to, and he can get his story.
Talk to him next time you see him, and then text me if so, or give him my number if so. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to end on well, so first and foremost, what's the other you had words that you use?
Prioritizing, forecasting.
Okay. Yeah.
Like when you forecast, I love those words, you know, and just every day when I leave a building, I always say, everybody have a blessed day. That's the first thing I tell them. Then they say it back. Now I got people going around the city, when they see me, they be like, have a blessed day. I be like, you have a blessed day.
So tell me a little bit about what forecasting is. I think
forecasting, when I say forecasting, it's when you think about, if I do something now, what's going to happen in the future? How's this new movement I do now going to either get me paid or punish me? So that's when you forecast. I say, if I do something, if a girl called me a nigger, or if a guy called me a nigger, and I flip out on him, I might can go to jail. So if I think about that, that's called forecasting before I make any movement. So I know I don't want to go to jail. So when I'm forecasting, I don't know I don't want to go to jail. That's the same thing as prioritizing. What's more important? So that's what I use for. I use that for those words for that. And
any other words that are important to you, like where you live your life by?
Oh, compassion. Okay. God gave us all compassion. That's why God is God, and He's not somebody who's going to make us do something. He's going to allow us to choose what to do. He don't make you worship Him, because if He make you worship Him, you become a slave. He doesn't want slaves. So God wants us to live. But if you chose to live wrong, that's your choice. Whatever happens on you, that's your choice. It takes energy to be mean, and it takes so much. That's why I say when it's rain, I love when it rains. When I cry, I know I'm growing. When it rains, everything needs water to grow. And I always tell people, if something growing without water, leave it the fuck alone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If something can grow without water, get away from it. It's something made in the lab. So get away from it. And another thing too, one little stupid thing. This is not a joke or nothing. But if you wake up broke, you should have never went to sleep. You should have never went to sleep. You can't wake up broke and complain, I'm broke. You should have never went to sleep. You should, you got $2, try to spend 50 cents a day. That's 4 days. Hopefully you get another $2. Some people get their check and they're gone because they don't have nobody to talk to them. I always tell people, if you wake up with a couple dollars, you'll feel so much better. But if you chase them drugs all night and you wake up in the morning time, you beat yourself up. You beat yourself up. I should have did this. I could have did that. I promised my family this. I promised my family that. But you didn't have that. You try to. Some people can't do it on their own. Mm-hmm. They're gonna always need help. You know. So I want a phone number. I want something. That's why only thing I can do is walk around and give people love. If I see you doing some messy stuff, I'm gonna say that's messy. So that's my thing.
Yeah, hold true to yourself.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have a last question, which is if you have a joke you want to tell before the end. But before that, where can people follow you for your writing? Where can people follow your comedy career?
Well, right now, I just came home from prison. My books are getting edited, and if you really want to find out about my stuff, I would like for people to talk to me, because you will see me around the city. So once I get on that stage and do everything I do, I will pass out flyers and everything, but I will be speaking at a college soon. I just got some work from somebody to help them out because they heard about me speaking. I will be speaking that. I'm going to bring up my own thing at the council meeting, the next one.
Fantastic.
I'm bringing up my own.
Oh, you're filing a petition?
Yeah.
Fuck yes. I'm so glad to hear that.
Petition because I want to talk about this hate on the homeless. And I'm also going to mix it in when you're punishing the taxpayers too. Mm-hmm. You know, because somebody can easily be going to college and you stop them at the door of Burger King's. Oh, nobody can come here with a backpack. This person got his laptop and his $700-800 laptop. He can't come in and Burger King's with it because, that's a sign down on the door. That's punishing other people. You hate the homeless that bad. So it's a whole bunch of places. As soon as they find out you're homeless, they start. When I told the doctor I was homeless, I went to the hospital a couple weeks ago, and I had a boil. And I went to the hospital. As soon as I told them I was homeless, I was in the hallway for 3 days. They was taking care of me in the hallway, promising me a bed. I said if I wasn't homeless, I would have been in the bed. Mm-hmm. I would have been upstairs, but I didn't get upset. I just this is craziness right now. I still got insurance, whether I'm homeless or not. You're still charging my insurance.
Right, you're getting charged either way.
Right, so I seen one dude come after me, go straight upstairs, and I said, yeah, that's because I'm homeless. Yep. So,
do you want to tell a joke for this at the end of this interview?
Oh yeah, I'll tell y'all a quick joke.
Okay.
All right. This is Books the comedian. Quick joke. There is no reason to go to sleep broke. You wake up broke. I told my son that I love him. He said he loved me back. My son asked me for $2. I told him he had to get a job. He said, Dad, you don't love me because you won't give me $2. I said, yo, I do. I asked my son for $2. A couple of days ago, he's older now, I asked him for $2. And he said, Dad, remember what you said? You told me I never listened to you. I just want to let you know I listened to you. I'm not giving you the $2. And I said, why? He said, because remember when I was young, I asked you for $2 and you told me I got to get a job. So now my son texts me in the morning. He says, you have to get a job. And that's not really a joke. That's my realities. So next time I'll tell you a real funny joke. To me, that's funny because he really been listening the whole time. So moving on.
No, that's perfect. Also, so was that a true story?
Yes.
So for what it's worth, I went to whatever, the main guy from Parks and Rec, I think. I went to a thing that he was headlining, and he just told a story about his. Anyways, I guess what I'm trying to say is, telling stories about your real life that under a different light would be comical without trying to make it comical is a mark of a experienced good comedian. So like, well, I mean, I didn't like the performance, but everyone else likes Aziz Ansari. He is apparently a good comedian, but good. No, that's fine. That's
right.
That's
and then you get more energy.
It's not a funny. Yeah, that's understandable.
You get more energy when you're on that stage, because when I'm on the stage and I practice, like me getting on the city council it just opened me up. So it just made it
I'm so fucking glad to hear that.
It just made me like, yo, this is my fight. This is how I can fight without going to jail.
Yes.
Without using my hand.
Fucking
you know?
yes.
You know what I'm saying? So that's my fight. And I started writing homeless jokes. And I started writing a homeless joke about when I say who I am, Books the Comedian. I ask everybody, you look like you had a great night's sleep and you're out beds. But I'm going to tell you, being homeless, you could not deal with. The first 10 minutes, you'll talk to yourself. And then you get the shakes. And we call that being broke. You start looking for stuff. And you start talking to yourself like, I can't believe this happened. And you're not crazy, but when you see other people doing it, you assume they're crazy. They just get into the realizing that I have no support. When you don't have no support, you don't have nothing, you look crazy to normal people, so-called normal people. But I think the whole world suffers from mental health, because there's a lot of rich people that do some weird shit.
But if they appear stable under capitalism, no one really questions it.
Yeah, but it always come out.
Yes.
It always come out.
Always comes out.